Have you ever tried to just hand your AI assistant a massive document, hoping it'll magically become an expert, only to get back these kind of confusing or super generic answers? Well, today we're going to break down exactly how you can transform that mountain of information into a powerful, precise AI that actually feels like a true extension of your team. It's a really common problem. You gather up all your brand guides, all your website content, every source material you can find. You feed it all to your AI, and then crickets. The responses are just off, right? It misses key details, and it ends up feeling more like a frustrating intern than a genius assistant. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. And this quote right here, this really gets to the heart of the issue. We can't treat our AI like it's some digital filing cabinet we can just dump things into. An AI, honestly, just like a person, needs information to be structured and digestible so it can actually learn effectively. Shoving a 50-page PDF at it is like asking someone to memorize an entire textbook in 5 minutes. It's just not going to work. So the solution here isn't about adding more data. It's about better organization. We have to stop hoarding information and start curating it. A librarian doesn't just throw books onto a giant pile. They categorize them, they label them, and they know exactly where every single piece of information lives. That's the strategic mindset we're going to adopt today. All right, so what's our game plan? It's a simple 4-step strategy to build a truly intelligent knowledge base for your AI. First, we're going to find logical categories. Second, we'll name them for absolute clarity. Third, we'll write specific triggers so the AI knows exactly when to use them. And finally, we'll learn to keep the content sharp and concise. Okay, first up, finding our categories. This is square one. It's where we start building what you can think of as our knowledge architecture, by looking at that huge mountain of information and just finding its natural divisions. And you can see the difference immediately, right? The common mistake is right there on the left, just uploading one giant file. That completely overwhelms the AI. But the librarian's approach, over on the right, is to break that same guide into focused, digestible topics. Each one of these becomes its own distinct little piece of knowledge. So the very first thing to do here is just to identify these sections. We're not even writing any content yet. It's as simple as grabbing a highlighter, going through your source material, and mapping out the topics. Brand voice, color palette, mission statement. This simple act of categorizing is absolutely the most essential first step. Okay, so once we have our categories all mapped out, the next logical step is giving them really effective names. And this is so critical because the name is the #1 way your AI is going to find the right information when you ask it for something. Just think about it for a second. If a file is named Untitled Document 1 or just Notes, your AI has zero idea what's inside. It's effectively invisible. The name is the very first signal of relevance the AI looks for in its search. So making it crystal clear and descriptive isn't just a good idea, it's non-negotiable. And here are 3 simple rules that make your names super powerful. First, be clear. Brand voice rules is way better than just voice. Second, use prefixes. Start every single entry with your project or company name, like RPG for Ready, Plan, Grow. That helps group them all together. And third, be consistent. Just pick a format and stick to it. And you can see exactly how this works in practice. Notes on voice? That's just too vague. But RPG, brand voice rules? Now that is perfectly clear to both you and your AI. It's organized, it's searchable, and it's instantly understandable. Now for what might be the single most important part of this whole process, writing the when to use triggers. If the name is what the information is, the trigger tells the AI when and how it should use it. It's basically the instruction manual. The process itself is beautifully simple. You ask the AI to do a task, the AI then scans all the triggers in its knowledge base to find a match for that specific task. And once it finds the right trigger, boom, it uses the content connected to it to give you a perfect response. But here's the real key. Specificity wins. Every time. A trigger like use for marketing is just way too broad. The AI will try to apply it to everything and just get confused. But a focus trigger, something like use when writing email subject lines, gives the AI precise, unmistakable direction. It knows exactly which tool to pull from its toolbox. So when you write your own triggers, try to start with an action verb like use when or apply to. Then get really specific about the task, like writing blog posts. And if you can, mention the final output, like for a social media caption.
The more specific the instruction, the better the result is going to be. Okay, on to our final lesson, keeping your content concise. For an AI, you have to remember that less is almost always more. What we're aiming for here is precision, not prose. Your AI doesn't need backstory or flowery language. It needs direct, actionable facts. And there's a hard rule that actually forces us to do this, a 2,000 character limit for each and every knowledge entry. Now, this isn't just a suggestion. It's a technical constraint that really forces us to be disciplined and focused in what information we include. So how do you stay within that limit? Well, first, cut all the fluff. Get straight to the point. Second, use bullet points. They are way more data dense and so much easier for an AI to understand than long paragraphs. And finally, use simple formatting like Markdown to create structure without adding a bunch of extra words. Now, this is a question that comes up all the time. You've cut the fluff, you've used your bullets, but you're still over 2,000 characters. Does that mean the system's broken? No, not at all. It's actually a signal. If your content doesn't fit, it just means your category is trying to do too much at once. That 2,000 character limit is your guide. It's basically telling you, hey, break this topic down even further. So a really broad marketing entry might need to become 2 smaller entries: email marketing voice and social media strategy. And when you bring all 4 of these lessons together, this is what you get: a perfect knowledge entry. It's a single atomic unit of knowledge. It has a clear, prefixed name. It has a specific when to use trigger, and the content itself is concise, it's actionable, and it's under that character limit. And why does all of this matter? Well, because the payoff is huge. When you take the time to build your knowledge base this way, thoughtfully, strategically, you don't just get a chatbot. You get an AI assistant that actually understands context, that executes tasks precisely, and that truly feels like a valuable member of your team. So let's just quickly recap our strategy. We started by thinking like a librarian to find those logical categories. Then we gave them clear, consistent names so they're easy to find. After that, we wrote specific triggers to act as an instruction manual for the AI. And finally, we kept the content itself lean, mean, and actionable. You now have the complete 4-step plan to stop overwhelming your AI and start empowering it. So the only question left is, are you ready to start building your AI's brain one perfect knowledge entry at a time?